Oh.
It's recording. Okay, so dimensional analysis is converting from one unit of measure to another. So you're going to have to know your units, and please God tell me that you do, or at least lie to me and tell me that you do.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody know how many quarts are in a gallon? 4. Take a point if you said 4. Great job. Okay, so let's start with 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. So dimensional analysis is converting from one unit of measurement to another, which means that you have to multiply and divide. You have to get rid of your measurements by dividing and convert by multiplying. So we're starting with 22 gallons. And how many quarts are in 1 gallon? Okay? Does everybody see how I set up my fractions?
Yes.
I would always put this with a 1 underneath it, just so that you have fractions all the way across. Now, the reason that we're doing this is because we want to kill our gallons. We want to cancel them out. So the way we do that is we divide. Kill, it's gone. So what unit of measurement is left? Quarts is left. So what's 22 times 4? Pre-AP class, what's 22 times 4? It is, and we should need a calculator for that. So there's 88 quarts in 22 gallons. Dun, da, da, da. That's all you do. That's on proportions.
I'd rather win.
Okay, so Whitney said a great thing. She said, I thought you said that they had to... Can you not listen to music while we're having class? Can y'all put your phones away and pretend like we're having math? Benjamin, I'm talking to you too. I see you. Okay, so she said, I thought you have to have the same measurement on top as you do on bottom on your fractions. That's when you have an equal sign and when we're doing proportions. Here we're converting, so you want to have the opposite so that they cancel. But that's a great, at least you recognize that we're doing fractions, so good. But we're trying to kill these, so we cross them out by dividing. Ready for the next one?
Sure.
So this says, how many fluid ounces does a 2 liter of bottles hold? I don't know why I'm struggling with words so much. Does anybody know how to convert from ounces to liters? What do you think is in between ounces and liters? Do you know how many ounces are in a cup? It's 8. It's 8. Okay. And do you know how many cups are in a liter? 4.23. So some of these conversions you're going to have to look up because they're not always easy. And you could make yourself a chart if you wanted to. We could do that together. But you're going to have to be able to go from step to step to step. Now you can't go... The way you go from ounces to liters is by first going through cups, because ounces are in cups, cups are in liters. So let's flip this open. And since I cut mine, because I'm awesome. Alright, so we start with 2 liters, right? So let's write 2 liters. And we're going to divide that by 1. Now remember, we're trying to get to ounces at the end. So first we need to convert liters to cups. And 1 liter, it's going to be on bottom because we want to still can't get my word out. What am I trying to say? Cancel. Thank you, not counsel. Is 4.23 cups. Just a unit of measure that you'd have to look up, guys. Calm down. Alright, and there are... Now, we need to cancel cups because we're trying to go to what? What are we ultimately trying to get to? Ounces. So are we going to put cup on top or bottom? Bottom to cancel. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. We've killed our liters. We've killed our cups. Left is ounces. So multiply 2 times 4.23 times 8 and tell me how many fluid ounces we have. This would actually be the time when to use your calculator as opposed to 22 times 4. This would be the right time. Donnie? 67 point what? What? You should get a decimal. Because it's times 4.23. 67.68. Is yours rounding? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to make a difference. Okay, so now, do you see how everything is 1 on the bottom? 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. You don't have to worry about that. Multiply the numerators. 2 times 4.23 times 8, and you get 67.68. And I promise this is going to help you in chemistry next year, so, you know. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Including the end zone. What is the length of a football field in inches? Okay. And it tells us how many yards it is, right? It tells us that it's 120 yards long. So what do we need to go? We're trying to go from yards to inches. What do we need to convert it to first? Feet. Okay. How many feet are in a yard?
3.
Okay, so let's start there. We have 120 yards. And we're going to multiply that by our new fraction. Now, what's going to go on the bottom? What's going to be our denominator? Yards, because we're trying to cancel. So 1 yard, and what's going to go on top? How many? 3 feet. So this is our conversion so far. Everybody see? Are we together? All right, now, what are we trying to get to at the end? Inches. So what am I going to multiply next? 12 inches on the top. And what goes on the bottom of the fraction? How many? 1 foot. Are we alive? We only have 3 days together, guys. Can we, become alive? Girl, eat a cheeseburger. Thinking up, do some jumping jacks. I am sweating. Do you want my sweater?
Yes, ma'am.
Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Didn't mean to throw it so hard. All right, now multiply straight across. What's 120 times 3? 360. Thank God. Take a point. And what's 360 times 12?
4,320 inches.
And you must write the unit at the end. Dun, 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 dun. Don't worry. We have a worksheet that's going to practice you until your ears bleed in a minute. Get excited. What words? Did you just have a stroke right there? Okay, are we ready for example 4? Does anybody have any questions so far, or is your main question, how do we get conversions? Because it's like, we'll make a chart, don't worry. How about that? Okay, example 4 says, a model airplane flies 22 feet in 2 seconds. What is the airplane speed in miles per hour? This one is exciting. Okay. Now, first, let's start with what it gives us. What does it give us to begin with? Okay, so we have to do 2 conversions this time. We have to go from feet to miles, and then we have to go from seconds to hours. Okay, so my feet conversion is going to be in green, and my seconds is going to be in pink. So I'm starting with 22 feet in 2 seconds. So let's start by first converting feet. We're trying to go from feet to miles, correct? Do any of you know how many feet are in a mile? 5,280. Okay, so since we're trying to kill feet, is it going to go on top or on bottom? I need more than one or two people to tell me that. So since we're trying to kill it, is it going to go on top or bottom? The bottom. So 5,280 feet in what? 1 mile. Take a point. All right. Have we converted from feet to miles? Yes, because our feet have canceled. We have a mile left over, so we're good on that. Now we need to focus on our time. So this is where the pink comes in. Dun, 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 dun. We're trying to convert from seconds to what? Okay, so what do we need to convert seconds to first before we can convert to hours? To minutes. Okay, awesome. Now, if seconds is on bottom here, where is it going to go in this fraction? It's going to go on top. So there's 60 seconds in what? 1 minute. All right, now my seconds have canceled. Do I need to convert my minutes to hours? Since minutes is on bottom, where is it going to be in this next fraction? On top. So there's how many minutes in an hour? 60 minutes in 1 hour. Have I canceled out my minutes? Okay. Now, what units of measurement are left over? What are you whispering at me? What's left on the bottom? Hours. Okay. What's left on the top? Isn't that what we needed? Okay. So miles per hour. Now, let's multiply. You're going to multiply 22 times 60 times 60. (22 times 60 times 60). We're going to get a big number. 79,200. Okay. All right. Now on bottom, multiply 2 times 5,280. 10,560. What do you think we're going to do with those two numbers? We're going to divide them. So divide them and tell me what you get. 7.5 miles per hour. So now that we've done this one together, you and your group talk about how you should attack example 5. Actually talk to each other about the problem, not be silly and talk about like butterflies or, other weirdo-ness. They are, baby, but let's talk about math.
Let's not have another.
All right, ready? Open this. So you started with, I'm going to do it in this color and this color. All right, so we start with 110 miles, correct? Per 1 hour. So did anybody start it like this? Look at you go. Take a point. Look at Ravenclaw back there. Y'all are killing it. Okay. So then we know how to convert miles to feet, correct? How many feet are in a mile? Okay. So since we're trying to kill miles, is the mile going to go on the numerator or denominator? So it's 1 mile divided by 5,000. I'm sorry. Other way around. 5,280 feet divided by 1 mile. Okay? So now we have killed our miles and converted it to feet. Isn't that what we were trying to do? We can move on to the next conversion. Now we're trying to go from hours to what? Hours to seconds. So what do we first have to go through? Minutes. Okay. So how many minutes are in an hour? If hour is in the denominator, where does it need to be over here? The numerator. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. And I've killed my hours. Is everybody with me? But now we're trying to go from minutes to seconds. So since my minutes is on bottom, where is it going to be over here?
Top.
So 1 minute is how many seconds? And now we've killed that. So we're left with feet and seconds. That's what we were trying to go to. Can you multiply and divide without me now? Does it make more sense now that we've talked through one more? No? Yes? Is anybody still confused? Okay, what are we confused on? Everything? Everything? Okay, so you see how we started? Let's just cover all. We started with this, right? Okay, so we're trying to go from miles to feet. Now we know how many feet are in a mile. It's 5,280. So when you try to cancel units, if it's on top, you put the unit on bottom. And we put 5,280 on top. You with me there? Okay, Nathan, you with me? And then we cancel out miles, so we have feet left. Now from here, we're trying to go from hours to seconds. So we know first there's 60 minutes in an hour. So since hours is on bottom, we're going to put it on top over here. And we have 1 hour for 60 minutes. You with me so far on this? All right, then we canceled those out. And now we're trying to go from minutes to seconds because that's our end result. So since we have minutes, we put it on top. And we know that there's 60 seconds. And those cancel. So now our unit of measure that's left is feet and seconds. And that's what we were trying to get to. Nathan, yes, no, maybe so. Are you lying?
Oh, are you having issues again?
What are you having issues with? What part of it is confusing you?
I'm quite that answer. I'm confused on that.
Okay, so you're going to multiply everything on the top, all the numbers, and you're going to end up with feet, and then all the numbers on the bottom and end up with seconds. Nathan, what about you? You're lying to me. Are you sure?
No.
What part are you confused on? You're lying! Okay.
And then do you divide each other?
Yes. And then divide without me. Once you're through with that, in the top drawer of your tower, there are worksheets. I'm pretty sure it's front and back, but it could be 2 pages. I'm not sure. See if it's, can somebody check and see if it's 2 pages?
It is.
It's 2 pages. All right, each person gets 2 pages. Start with the conversions.